Fuck you, dogs matter. Nick and Chris coming at you from Buck's Dog Training, where we are passionate about empowering individuals to reclaim their relationship with their dogs. We facilitate effective communication between dogs and their humans, enabling them to forge stronger connections and achieve their training goals. Through our efforts, we aim to create a community where everyone can experience the joys of a great life with their dogs. All right, everyone, Buck you, dogs matter. So it's Nick and Chris coming at you. And today
Hey.
we're going to talk about a couple of other aggression cases. So we're going to discuss some of the cases that we've seen that have been really, really interesting. And one of the ones that really stand out in my memory, one, because it was honestly really, really funny at certain points, not at my expense, thank God, although there have been moments. But in this case, this one was at somebody else's expense. But also, it was interesting because this is a puppy who was only supposedly 5 months old, very, very young. And yet, the level of aggression that she exhibited was beyond normal, way, way beyond normal. And I was not there for her intake. So, a couple of my other trainers were. And Chris, you were one of the ones that was there. So, I
Yes.
kind of want to hand this over to you and you tell us what
Yes.
was that experience like?
So this was called her Daisy Dukes.
All right.
Daisy Dukes. And
Mhm.
she earned that name. So one of our trainers, she was supposed to be a 2-week board and train. Okay, not an aggression case. And one of the trainers, Amy, was waiting for her at the facility to show up. The owner was late, probably about an hour. And,
Oh,
Amy was
wow.
just checking out, making sure, like, hey, you okay? You
Hmm.
get lost? And basically, what happened was, I believe the owner was trying to load her up into the car, which was never told to us that she didn't like getting into vehicles, right? She had a
Hmm.
problem with getting into the vehicles. She bucked out of her collar and basically got loose. Owner had to tackle her to catch her. And
Hmm.
within that process of trying to get her back into the car, I guess without the leash, uh,
Hmm.
she got bit in the face.
Oof.
Yeah, so I guess Amy calls me. I got a 2-week boarding train coming in, and she's late because the dog bit her in the face.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
oh, and she goes, yeah, there was no notification on it for her that this was an aggressive dog,
Right.
right? And I really wasn't thinking anything of it. It was like 5 months old, right? So
Hmm.
maybe it was one of those kind of puppy, like nipped
Yeah.
kind of things. And I was like, oh, you mean, when the dog shows up, you'll know, right?
Hmm.
You'll know for yourself. And basically, when she showed up, she did not exhibit any form of aggression at that moment, right?
Okay.
Then packing up her stuff, putting it in the car, the owner put her in Amy's car. Everything was great.
Hmm.
Everything was fine. There was nothing wrong until what? Amy got home. So when
Oof.
Amy got home and tried to walk the dog, and I guess a little bit of leash pressure, because let's say the dog wanted to go one way, and Amy said, no, we're going this way. And then Daisy Dukes let her know,
Hmm.
right? So she was like redirecting on the leash.
Hmm.
So then when Amy was trying to get her to do a sit, boom. Sit. No. No. That's where she exploded on Amy. And Amy was like, listen, she has a baby boy in the house, right?
Hmm.
And she wasn't set up for an aggression case, right?
Right. Hmm.
And in all honesty, Nicole, the owner should have not just spoke half truth.
Yes.
I am not convinced that the dog only showed it to us. Okay. There
Yeah.
was no possible way.
Yeah.
This dog had a serious, like, aggression issue when you tried to go near its neck.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you tried to put a collar on, boom, she was going to explode. Just a collar, just
Hmm.
things we take for granted every single day that you take your dog out for a walk. Boom,
Yes.
clip on the collar, let's go.
Hmm.
That was not happening with her. because when
Wow.
I went to meet Amy at the facility to get her,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, I was like, oh, she's 5 months old. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So real fast, she earned Daisy Dukes because Daisy put up them Dukes. Okay. She was seasoned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seasoned where she knew how to take her paw, wrap it, hit it down to take the pressure off the leash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She knew what she was doing. That's
Yeah.
why I said there's absolutely no way that these people didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that she was reactive this way.
And for those people who don't understand or have never experienced a dog who's one, redirecting and reactive to a leash, but to able to manipulate and take the pressure off a leash. So imagine that you have a leash attached to your neck. This dog will then take their paws and literally wrap it one on top of the other around the leash and pull it down. So now there's no pressure on their neck. You
Mhm.
cannot control them with that leash anymore because they literally have their paw hooked around the leash and they're almost holding it.
Oh, forget it. She was black belt, man. She she
Uh-huh.
she knew martial arts. Like she
Yeah.
had that exactly which way you were going, she knew exactly how to hit it down. She
Mm-hmm.
put Wing Chun on us, okay? I'm not even kidding. Like I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Like I was just like, wow. And she was only 5 months old. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty damn smart dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't even make it up. I think like you're definitely gonna have to show some footage on her for
Yeah.
everybody to see.
Well,
Like I'm not exaggerating.
here's the thing. And I think we should show this first. The first
No,
time
that's bullshit. Okay. That was like wrong on so many levels. Okay.
first time I met this dog.
Listen, I got no shame. I will share it with everyone.
The
So
first time I met this dog,
yeah, I took the dog back for the night.
Chris and
And
Tony were adamant. This dog is aggressive. This dog doesn't like the leash. This dog doesn't like to be touched around the neck. This dog won't go into a car. I'm like, okay. So I approach the dog. I touch it around the neck. I put a leash on it. I put a collar on it. Nothing. No reaction.
yeah,
Zero. Doesn't
I
even try and do the kung fu Wing Chun,
yeah,
maneuver on the leash. Nothing. I
yep,
walk the dog, and the entire time Tony is
yeah,
incredulous
yeah,
and
yeah.
like there's just no way. This is not the dog. This is not what we saw. He was so adamant. He was actually getting really upset.
He was.
He was so upset, and I'm like
He
laughing
was.
because I
Because he had a
know.
hard time getting her in a car.
Yeah. I mean, I knew. Trust me, I know. When a trainer tells me, yes, this is behavior that we saw, I know that they saw it.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Mhm.
Okay. So then we take this dog. He's like, no, it won't get into the car. It won't get to the car. So I'm like, okay, let's take it to the car. We
Yeah,
took it to my van first. No problem. Went right in. And
yeah,
he's like, well, that's because it's not jumping right from the back, the floor into the crate. And I'm like, okay, well, let's take it to your van
yeah.
and we'll make
I
it go
think
right
I
into the
have
crate.
that.
Yeah. See?
Come on. Come. Well,
How about that?
see what happened, Nicole, was that we actually tricked you.
Yeah.
We used the reverse psychology. We actually had the dog ready, and we just wanted you to think.
Boom.
Yeah.
Nothing. No problems.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
I
then,
honestly, I think I got the footage of that, but
yeah.
you should see if Amy has the footage of her trying to get it into her car.
Hmm. But then
That was rough.
I did get to see her true colors later that day.
That's right.
Later that day. And we
Yep.
have that footage too.
Yep.
So we'll show you the before
Yep.
and we'll show you the after.
Yep. In the same
Yeah.
day. It was all the
It's
same
exact same
day,
day,
right? I was
literally
like,
within two
Nicole, I am
hours.
not making this up,
Yeah.
right? And then when we were
Literally
at
within
the
2 hours.
facility, we were cross training with the dogs. Okay.
Mhm.
That bell
Yeah.
went ding ding. That girl came out, gloves on. Okay. And I
That's
was
right.
like, you go, Daisy. You go. Yep. Yep. Don't hold back now, okay?
That's right.
Talking to Nicole, don't hold back. All right. So yeah, I was just like, yep, give it to her. I was like, you show Nicole, don't hold back, okay? Yep.
Yeah, she showed me all right.
I was like, see,
She showed me her good side, and then she
Yep.
showed me her bad side.
I was like, I didn't make it up. But that was the thing. Like, she was so sweet. Okay.
Yeah, and dogs
So
are sweet.
sweet. And but she had such an issue. Any type of leash pressure, right? Or let's just say she wanted to go this way. She didn't want to be told no. She didn't want to be told no, I can't go this way,
Yeah.
right?
Lola's
But
the
if,
same way.
but if you tried to put the collar on her even to go out, she was just explosive. Just the collar, and it was bad.
Oh yeah. Lola and Daisy are very similar in their reactivity. In the fact that they don't like being told what to do. They don't want to be held accountable, one, and they don't want someone telling them, hey, you're not allowed to do that. I want you to focus on me instead. Because they don't want to be told what to do. They want to do what they want to do because that's the frame of mind they're in. And suddenly someone's coming in and telling them, oh, hey, you know what? You got to pay attention to me, girlfriend. Don't pay attention to them out there. Don't get, all high and mighty and laser focus on that dog. I don't want that. Focus on me. But then when she does, she's like, oh, you want me to focus on you? I'll focus on you. Hell yeah, I'll focus on you. I'll come up and try and bite your face. I'll focus on you.
Yeah. I mean, even for my son, like she adored him. Like she was following him all around. Okay. Like building that relationship with him. Like, yeah, can he pet her on the head? Can he touch her on the body? Right.
Yeah.
And he goes, Mom, she's great. I said, okay, right. This is like a reenactment with you from brought her to show you. Like, okay, like I'm making this up, right? I'm like, here, take a collar, help yourself, right? And she exploded on him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just to put the collar on. Just to put the collar on.
Yeah, and we're going to show you that clip too. We're going to show you that
He
clip.
was like, what the hell?
Exactly. Yeah, you can see the surprise on his face. He's like,
and this is just trying to put a collar on her, okay? So she's developed a trust with Christopher where she was following him all around, letting him pet her, right? She started following him all around. And so he's obviously established a good relationship with her, but just trying to put a collar on her.
Yep.
like, what the freak is wrong with this dog?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was
and 5 months old, people. 5 months.
5 months.
5 months old. And it wasn't like this dog wasn't from a shelter or anything, right? Or was she?
No, I think they got her from a shelter. She looked lab.
Right.
But I think when they did
some chow in her.
Bark, she had some part chow in her.
Yeah, she definitely had some chow in her. Yeah, and for those who don't know, chow chows are, let's just say they're not the nicest dogs in the world. They're beautiful, but they're not the sweetest temperament. Yeah. So be careful if you get a chow. Just do your research, do lots of socialization on those dogs, because if they're not raised properly, they can be a nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it took a lot to rehab Daisy. Like constant, muzzle conditioning her for one. Okay. Because without a doubt, 100%. If we didn't muzzle condition her, we all would have gotten bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like, and if you can show everyone in the videos, right?
She just deals with it. Right, Daisy? You my good girl? Yes. Good girl. Good girl, Daisy.
As long as she's calm neutral about it. Awesome.
Good job.
Great job.
Good job.
Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. Good girl, Daisy. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have a short clip of that, but we also have an extended, like the full series from beginning
Yes.
to end of muzzle conditioning on our
Mhm.
online system. So if you want to check that out, go to our online coursework and click on the aggression package, because on there it shows you how to muzzle condition a dog from beginning to end. And
Right.
actually, the example we used was Daisy, but we are going to show you a short clip of what
Right.
that
And
looks like.
exactly. And being able to see that, you're going to see how we worked her, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and
It's a
I mean,
process.
in the beginning, it doesn't look pretty, but it's more her giving the fight, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But the way that we worked her, you're going to see she wasn't shut down, right?
No.
She wasn't shut down.
No.
If anything, you see the way that we did handle it with her,
Mm-hmm.
we had her associated in a where it became a positive. Like we're
Yes.
like, okay, time to put the muzzle on. She would voluntarily come over,
Mm-hmm.
put the muzzle on, no problem,
Yep.
right? That's the right
Exactly.
way. Hi, it's Christine with Buck's Dog Training with Princeton, and I have Miss Daisy right here with me. She is here for our 3-week behavioral modification program. Super proud of this girl. Took a lot of patience, and she's doing really well. And I just wanted to share with you on how we've desensitized her with putting on a muzzle. So as you can see right here, I can slide it on over her ears and with the clip. We wouldn't even be able to come near her before with that. That was the biggest trigger. I can give her reward with a treat right here. Yes, good girl. Good job, sweetheart. Yes. And then I take it off. Good job, right? Yes. She's not upset with it. She doesn't associate it in a negative way, right? Are we friends? Yes, good girl. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. There,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. And here's the other thing that, we got a lot of slack, like Cheska. We posted a video of her being muzzled and we got slaughtered with a lot of just hate comments and, just people who had no idea what the situation was.
You know what?
And they're
I
just
was
hating on
there.
you. Yeah.
I was there when.
Exactly. They're like, well,
Mhm.
that's not how you muzzle condition a dog. And, you're scaring that dog. You're doing this and you're doing that. And you're like, you know what, people? That dog was already scared.
Mhm.
It was already scared. And it was going to bite because it had already bitten.
Yeah, you're starting to choke, aren't you? She knows that muscle, you know?
Nice work. Nice work.
So now you have this dog who is scared, who's reactive, who will absolutely bite. And you're telling me that, what, I can't put a muzzle on this dog without first spending, days and days and days conditioning it? That's unrealistic. I got to get this dog out of that house and into a safe environment without her biting anybody.
Right.
And I'm not going to be able to do that without putting muzzle on. And I'm not be able to have the luxury of having, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 days to
No,
condition this
no.
dog
But
to the
see,
muzzle.
you'd never make it that far.
No.
Like how there's no possible way with a dog like her.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to take this dog out for a walk? How are you even going
Exactly.
to get to feed this dog and
Yeah.
still have fingers? I'm not even making that up.
I know.
So,
I know.
so it
I wouldn't even let anyone feed this dog for the first week. I was the only one that handled this dog for the first week.
Mhm.
I was the only one. I fed it. I let her out. I walked her. I did not let anyone really have interaction or touch her unless I was there and I knew exactly what was going on and I controlled the situation.
Mhm.
Because she was just that severe of a case.
Yeah, she was pretty bad.
She was,
Yeah.
she was
Mhm.
terrible. But I bring that up, but I really wanted to talk about Blue, but Cheska is such an interesting case because she was so unpredictable and there was just so many elements to her. But I think we should save her for another day because I really want to talk about Blue because
Yes. Blue
Blue,
has a special place in my heart.
yes,
Uh,
okay, here's a dog. Let me give you guys a little backstory. I got a call from this lady saying, you know what, I need you to come and I need you to get this dog because I'm afraid of her because she's growling at me. And she, I don't want to go near her because the lady had been in the hospital for like a month and her neighbor was coming and letting Blue out and taking care of her. And when she came back from the hospital, Blue growled at her and didn't recognize her or didn't know her or didn't, appreciate her being back at the house apparently. And so the owner was afraid and kept her in a crate majority of the time. And then the neighbor would have to come and let her out and then put her back in the crate. She was
yeah.
afraid of her own dog.
Yeah.
So
Amber was
I,
her,
yeah,
her God sent guardian angel, I can tell you that.
yeah, it was, I mean, I had to drive to Virginia to drop off some dogs. And then I had to drive home from Virginia. So I left I
Yep.
think I must have left at like 3:30 in the morning, got to Virginia by like 10:30, dropped the dogs off, literally turned right around and came right back.
Yep.
And then I picked you up at my house and then we drove over
Yep.
to go pick up this dog Blue, who is a Corso mix.
Yes.
So we arrive. I will never forget this. Oh my God. Till the day I die, I will never forget this. We arrive into this house, and here's this dog in this crate, this flimsy, broken down piece of shit crate. Literally, like the only thing holding this thing up is a bungee cord.
Yeah. I think that's where I was like, Nicole. I say, that's just a bungee cord, man.
There's like nothing holding this thing up. And then you have like this 100+ pound dog who's literally charging you,
Yeah.
barking and growling and lunging and
Yeah.
throwing her spit and her slobber
Yeah.
literally at you. And I think at one point I was standing there and she had splashed it like
Yeah.
it went into an arc right
Yeah.
onto my clothes.
I
And
actually might have that on tape, okay?
I looked
Hey, if
down
it's all
and I
about
couldn't
sharing
help
with our,
myself, man.
if it's
I couldn't
all
help
about
myself. I'm
sharing
like,
with
oh,
people,
that's gross.
we don't have a problem sharing that, okay, Nicole?
I was like, oh,
I'll
that's
look for
gross.
it. I want to
But
look
I
for
didn't
that.
move.
Mhm.
I didn't move. I stayed. I stayed
Mhm.
and I held my position, but I couldn't help making that comment. I'm like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
literally had her slobber all over my
yeah.
body.
She's really frothing at the mouth, Like,
got all over me.
yeah. You did. You did. I
But
remember that's pretty funny.
here I am standing here with this 100+ pound dog that probably weighs more than I do,
Yep.
literally charging at me, wanting to kill me.
Mhm.
And I'm just standing there waiting for her to wear herself out, waiting
Yep.
for her to expend all her energy so that
Yep.
I could safely put a
Mhm.
leash on her
Mhm.
and get her out of the crate and out to the van and put a muzzle on her.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we have that footage. So we're going to show you a couple of short little clips of that, but it was hysterical. It was
Yeah.
hysterical. And then we finally get the leash on her.
Good job.
Okay, we get the leash on her. And then once we actually got her out of the crate, she was fine. She was absolutely fine. She was so territorial of that crate because that was her world. So for almost an entire, what, 2, 3 weeks?
No, you know what? It was Blue. When
Yeah.
we went, it was Blue when you said, "Oh, you want to muzzle her?"
Oh,
That's when I
is that
said, "Oh, why don't you show me how it's done?" Okay. When we got her to the truck to put the muzzle on, she was not okay. Okay. Right? That just hit my head. It just reminded me because yes, it was her. Because you're like, "Oh, do you want to muzzle her?" I looked at her. I was like, "Why don't you show me how it's done?" Okay. Yep. It was her. It was Blue.
And I did. I mean, it literally took me less than 5 minutes to muzzle that dog. It took an hour. Was it an hour? Maybe a little more than an hour. It took about an hour to get this dog to calm down enough that we could even get it out of the crate. But once we got it out of the crate and got it to the van, I mean,
Yeah.
it was literally a matter of a couple of minutes. And
Mhm.
that's all it took to get it muzzled.
Yeah. I mean, she still wasn't happy.
No, she wasn't happy, but
Yeah.
she wasn't
Like she
like,
was still worked up.
yeah, but she
Yes.
wasn't nearly as
Right.
like in my face charging at me. She was still grumbly and kind of moving around.
As long as
So
it was
yeah.
your face, not mine, I'm good. Okay. All
Well,
right.
we have a video of that too,
I think
of me
so.
muzzling that dog, and it
Yes.
it was not that. In my opinion, I've muzzled worse. She
I
was
don't know. I got a still shot of what she looked like. It
yeah,
looked
but she still
pretty
wasn't the worst.
intimidating.
She still wasn't the worst.
All right, we're gonna
She
share
was
that one. I don't know, it looked pretty intimidating to me. And
she was pretty
yeah,
easy.
that picture.
She was pretty easy compared to some of the ones that I've had to muzzle. She
But
was fairly easy.
the
Yeah.
neighbor was like her guardian angel.
Oh yeah, that neighbor,
Yep,
she literally is an angel put
yep.
on earth.
But
She
she watched us from the window.
yeah.
Okay, because we were using her driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Remember afterwards, she came out and she goes, I appreciate you guys so much
Yeah.
because she watched how we handled the situation and like how you muzzled her. Like clearly it was more of waiting for the right opportunity. Nice job. To be able to muzzle her,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't like forceful. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
It's like you knew at that exact moment, yes, she's going to let me put it on, right? And she
Yeah.
was just watching us from the window and she was just like so appreciative,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, she was the neighbor was like, she's a gem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish we had more people in the world like her.
Yeah, absolutely. We need more people like that.
Yeah, yes.
We really do. She was amazing. She wasn't, I mean, what neighbor do you know that for an entire month will go and take care of your dog?
Yeah. Sherry, if you're listening, we love you. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Shout out to Sherry, man. She is an awesome human being. She is an
Yes.
awesome, awesome human being.
Yes. And definitely have to show footage on working with Blue because
Mm-hmm.
that will show people in
Yeah.
regards where I personally feel she was underexposed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to say COME. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, good girl. And clearly she spent a lot of time like in the crate or, her owner not having too many visitors except for the neighbor over, right? Yeah. And it was more for her, I guess,
She
for
didn't really
protection.
engage with the dog.
But it was more to have the dog there for protection,
Protection,
right?
yeah, but she never really engaged with her.
No. And
That's why there was no bond. You know what I found to be very interesting, and you pointed it out too. When they came over to pick Blue up, okay, they brought so it was the owner, the neighbor, and the owner's brother that the
correct.
dog had never met, had only seen through a window, but had never
That's
actually met.
right. Yes.
Okay.
And let's just say Blue's 8 years old.
Yes. So who
Okay.
did she
So
go
the
to first?
brother never met her.
Yeah,
Only saw her through a window until the
exactly.
day they came to pick her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you remember who Blue went to first?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
She went to the neighbor.
Yeah. And then who she go to?
She went to the brother.
That she had never met. And finally,
Mm-hmm.
she went to her owner.
Mm-hmm.
She went to her owner last. That's very indicative. That tells you that there was no relationship there. None.
Mm-hmm.
That is so heartbreaking, in my opinion. If your dog is not excited to see you, you don't have a relationship with your dog.
That almost became my dog, remember?
Yes, I know.
All right. We almost, if she, I said, give her a fair chance, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
See for
The owner
yourself.
wanted to give her up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think honestly, she was afraid, right?
she
From
was,
her
but
recollection of what happened in the house, she
hmm
became fearful,
yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
then I said, you know what? Remember I said to you, what do you do in these situations?
Yeah.
Right? And I said, she works so hard. Let's be fair. Why don't we see how you do with her and how she does
Hmm.
with you? You
Yeah.
come with your brother because your brother's never met her. Why don't we
Hmm.
see how she reacts with him?
Yeah.
Right? And then if you're not comfortable, then we can have a different type of conversation.
Yeah.
But clearly, when she came back and
Hmm.
she saw the dog,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, she was so good. If I didn't trust her, I wouldn't have cut her loose in my house with my pack
Yeah.
or with my family, with my kids. She had
Right.
full roam of the house.
Hmm.
Full roam of the house. She
Yeah.
was she would take my shoe or
Mhm.
take her little bunny. And when I'm working on a computer at night, she'd just come over and like bring over one of the little dog beds that she could never fit in and
Uh-huh.
sleep on it, right? And just hold the shoe or hold the bunny,
Oh
right?
my goodness.
But she was like the sweetest dog,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And just being able to rehab her that way, I mean, that was my reward,
Right.
right? That was
Hmm.
like an imprint that's going to stay with me forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I truly appreciate if that's something that we can share because it'll show people like it is possible.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because
Oh
when
yeah.
we show that part about Blue not liking you
Hey, you know what? Not
from
every
the
dog
very
likes me.
beginning,
Not
okay?
every dog likes me in the beginning, but let me tell you, by the end,
Yeah.
man, they are my shadow.
Yes.
True or false, man, they
Yes.
become my shadow. And
Yes.
it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long because you know what it is? Dogs love and respect leadership
Mhm.
and confidence and a calm demeanor, a calm energy.
Mhm.
And that's what I give them.
Mhm.
I'm not flooding them with a lot of unnecessary drama and energy and demanding their attention on something. I'm just very calm about it. And they,
Extremely calm.
yeah,
Like they're like, wait, I just like screamed in your face. I
yeah,
just spit all over you. I
mhm,
showed you all my canines, right?
yeah,
And but you have like no expression. Like
mhm,
you're not talking, you're not backing away, and the dog's
yeah,
like, what? So
absolutely.
yeah, that'll be a good one to show.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the other things, and I think this is a topic we definitely need to explore more, but, one of the things that you'll see in the videos is the fact that we use tools. We'll use a prong collar, we'll use an e-collar, we'll use the muzzles, and, we use those tools for safety reasons, but you also have to use it in the appropriate manner. A tool, just like anything else, can be abused, it can be used wrongly. It really depends on who's using it and how they're using it. If you have a certain expertise in something,
Mhm.
then you're going to be a maestro at it. And people who are have no training, have no concept, no idea, you can do a lot of damage. Think of someone with a gun who has no clue how to use it.
Mhm.
They could kill someone and not even know how they did it. And you can have, someone like same thing with an instrument. You can have someone who is like world class, like a pianist or, guitar player because they study and they know and they practice, 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 and they know how to make that instrument work for them. Okay. Just like in the dog training world, there are instruments and tools that we use, but we got to know how to use it properly.
Mhm.
And if you don't know how to use it properly, you could do some damage, absolutely. But
Mhm.
it's not the tool or the instrument that's the problem. It's
Mhm.
the people using them,
Amen.
you know? And that's a topic that is really, really a hot topic. I mean, there's political movements going on right now. People trying to ban the use of certain tools. Just
Yeah.
like they're trying to ban guns.
Mhm.
Stop banning the tool
Mhm.
and look at policing the people.
Yeah.
And what are they doing and how are they being monitored and tracked? Because they're the problems, not the tool.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're
I
actually
agree.
going to have a special guest join us.
Mhm.
They are a dog training company from Tennessee, and
Mhm.
they put out this cool little video.
Yeah.
It is spot on. They
Yeah.
use a little stuffed animal, and they demonstrate the perception people have, of how these tools are utilized, and
Yeah.
then the reality when it's done right.
That
Okay.
is correct.
Now,
Yeah.
can people absolutely do the wrong way? Yes, of course. Just like with anything else, anything can be used the wrong way, even the flat collar. Okay. Anything can be used the wrong way. Anything that's supposed to be beneficial, if it's not used properly, it can be detrimental.
Mhm.
But if it's used properly, it can be so helpful. And
Yes.
so this company is going to, come join us on one of our upcoming podcasts. And I'm so
That'll be an
excited.
interesting conversation,
Oh my
right?
God, I'm so excited. I can't wait for them to
Yeah.
join us. I believe
Yes.
Sierra, and I have to remember the name of the company. I don't have it, I'm sorry, readily available at this moment. I have it written down somewhere. Oh, here we go. Sierra Liberty from training at K9Summit.com. So K9 Summit is the name of the company. They're out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And what we're going to do is we're going to post a link to their TikTok video that they put up.
Yeah.
Check it out. And we're going to talk about that
Yeah.
in one of our upcoming podcasts. So we will announce when we're going to do that. So stay tuned and please join us for that particular podcast. It's going to be a
Absolutely.
fun discussion.
Yes. I can't wait.
Right.
Hmm.
And then what was
On
that line that
soon.
we're going to use?
Hold that thought.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. So hold that
Yeah.
thought, people, because we're going to have some exciting content coming up. That's
That's
going to
right.
be exhilarating because there's a lot of controversy around that right now. R positive versus balanced trainers. It is like the UFC heavyweight championship fight of all time in the dog training world. That's what it equates
Ding
to.
ding. Let's go.
Ding ding, man. And here's the challenge. And I've been saying this for an entire, actually more than a year. Okay. I have put it out there. I will challenge any positive only force free trainer to have a safe, and I do mean safe, okay, safe forum for us to have a debate. Okay. And I want to clearly understand what your logic is, what results you can show to back up your claims. You're saying there's all this scientific proof. I know the science. I know the science. You bring me the science, and I will give you science for science. You bring me vets, I will give you vet for vet. Because we have vets out there who know what works, who know the theory, who know the science behind training. Okay. What I'm challenging you is you're taking one component when there's three others that you're ignoring. Okay. And you're saying that's the only component that works, which scientifically is proven to be false. Science has proven that to be false. And yet you're promoting that. That's your propaganda. And I want you to prove it. I want you to prove that. I want you to show me the results because I can show you results all day long.
Yeah.
I have the stories. I have the proof to back it up. You show me that you can take an aggressive dog, even any of the ones that we've done, and we don't even have the worst. We've got
But
some
I
pretty
think
bad
that's what the
ones.
issue is. I think that's what the issue is.
Yeah,
I don't think they're working with
they're
aggressive
not.
dogs.
They're
Okay.
not.
Not the level of aggression that we work with. Okay.
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
no way possible, okay,
Hmm.
that if they were gonna take Chessie, okay,
Mhm.
and say, okay, we're not gonna use a muzzle,
Yeah.
someone is getting bit bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, you can't use a muzzle. You can't put any force on that leash.
Mhm,
The dog isn't taking food, by the way. He has
mhm,
no interest in food. You could shove food at it all day long. It doesn't care. It's not interested in the ball. It doesn't want your affection. It doesn't want you to touch them. It doesn't want to play with a ball. It wants nothing but for you to leave it alone.
mhm,
So, but you need to get that dog out of that house and into your car and safely into your house. How are you going to do that without using any force? You show me how you can do that without getting attacked and getting bit, or somebody else getting attacked, or somebody else getting seriously hurt. You show me that. You show me how you can do that,
mhm,
because I've tried doing that. There was a time where I was positive only, where I didn't use tools. The only thing I had was a slip lead. And yes, I could do certain things, but even then it wasn't force free. I still use that leash to force the dog to do what I wanted to do.
mhm,
But I didn't use any other tools. I wasn't using a prong collar. I wasn't using an e-collar.
mhm,
I've done that work. I've been in that line of business
mhm,
where I did everything without tools. Can you do it? Absolutely. Does it take a hell of a lot longer? Yes. Can you fully eliminate the behavior? No.
mhm,
You're not going to be able to 100% with confidence say that that behavior is 100% eliminated if you do not create enough of a association to a aversive to prevent it from wanting to do it again. So it's the example I like to use is you touch a hot stove one time, you get burned, you're never going to do it again unless
mhm,
you're an idiot.
mhm.
But you're not.
Yeah.
And in the natural world, and even the dog world and the human world, there are consequences when you do something you're not supposed to do. They just exist in nature. It exists in nature. Okay. It exists in natural interactions with dogs. It exists in our world because we have the police, we have the military, we have people and organizations and rules and laws in place to protect people from other people and from people doing
We
stupid.
had rules. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Well,
had
that's
rules. All right.
hold that thought because that is going to be a hot topic. Because I'm with you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm with you. You
Mhm,
know, I mean, I have guns for a reason. My house
mhm,
is so full of guns. You do not want to step foot in my house, people. You do not.
mhm.
I think I have probably at least 10 guns and a couple of rifles. You do not want to step in my house. Mm-mm, no way.
Yeah, she's a
And I
sharp.
know how to use them. I know how to use them, people.
Listen, I don't know how smart that was. Let everybody know you got guns when we're trying to get a positive only to get up here and have a conversation with us, okay?
Look, I said, and I stand by it, safe zone, safe
Mhm,
zone. We're
mhm.
not going to attack.
No,
We're going to have a
it's
constructive
about having a
discussion.
conversation,
Yeah,
right? And then bring the
yeah,
proof, right?
exactly.
Bring the
Constructive
proof.
conversation. Constructive
Mhm,
conversation. Okay.
mhm,
I'm so tired of everyone going at each other and just, beating each other down. Why can't we cooperate? Why can't we collaborate? You know what we do? 95% of what we do is in that positive R plus range. It is. There is a power to that. There's no denying that it works. There's no denying that it works. It 100% works. What I'm telling you though is it's not going to solve every single problem. And that's the propaganda that the R plus people are putting out there. And that's bad enough. But what's worse is now they're making everybody else feel ashamed because, oh my God, they had to resort to using a tool to control their dog. You're not good enough. You didn't spend enough time. You're not caring enough to actually do the right thing by your dog. Seriously?
If you ask me my opinion on that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the people that bring their dogs to us that have no aggression issues,
Yep.
okay? It's the people who have a dog that way. It's the
Yep.
people who have to live life where don't drop the ball, right?
Yeah.
Or someone's going to get bit. It's those people that live with this
Yeah.
anxiety, like
Well,
truly that have some form of PTSD
yeah, it's
because of
easy.
their dog,
Yeah, it's
right?
easy
Walking near
to
people or something.
yeah, it's
They're
easy
the
to
ones that
throw.
understand.
Yeah, it's easy to throw stones and throw advice and be like, you should do this, you should do that from a position that's so far removed. They have no idea what that person's going through.
Okay.
No idea whatsoever. It's like,
They
yeah,
don't.
it's
And
easy
that's what
for
I'm
you to
saying. They're
say
talking
that.
smack because they're not the ones living it,
Yeah.
These
If you're
people
living it,
have
there's no way you're going to
experience
say that
it,
to somebody.
you know?
Yeah, if
Like,
you're the one living through that nightmare,
yes,
you're not going to try and shame somebody for using a solution that works and is still not hurting their dog.
not for nothing. Look at all the dogs that we have worked with and rehab. Like,
Hmm.
Blake is living best life ever.
Absolutely.
Nico is literally like, I want his life. He's going
Mhm.
everywhere with his owner now.
Yes.
Everywhere, right? To like the beaches. They got
Yeah.
a little baby sack that they carry him, right?
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
goes to the wineries with her. This was
Hmm.
something she never thought she could ever have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, it's how we do it with the dogs, it's the right way, right? It's
Hmm.
what needs to be done, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really the way that it needs to be,
Yeah.
right? And
Today's generation are just way too soft. They're way too existential and, they think that dogs, have all of this ability to reason and to think. I mean, they have the ability to make a choice, make a decision, but they don't reason and think on a level that a human does.
mhm,
Stop trying to make your dogs a human.
yeah,
Accept them for what they are because they're amazing creatures.
yep,
They're amazing, amazing creatures. And then when you try to make them into something they're not, you're doing them a disservice.
mhm,
You are.
yep,
You're taking the best part of them and you're just pulling it out and throwing it away.
mhm,
You're saying, I don't want you to be a dog. I want you to be a human. And I'm going to treat you like a human. And then when you don't act like a human, I'm going to get mad at you. And then I'm going to throw you back into a shelter and find something else that's going to fit my conception of what a dog should be. Because a dog shouldn't be a dog anymore. A dog should be my little baby, my surrogate baby, fill that hole in me because I don't have a baby.
like,
It's a dog, people. It's a
mhm,
fucking dog. I
mhm,
love dogs, but
mhm,
treat it like a goddamn dog.
mhm.
Stop treating it like a human. It's not a human.
No,
It's
it's
a
not.
dog. They
They need
have needs.
structure. You gotta give them direction, right?
Yeah,
They need that structure, and that's how they thrive.
exactly.
That's how they thrive.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how we work with our aggression cases, we have
Hmm.
so many clients who would back us up in this conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Because now they're actually enjoying the life with the dogs, that they can actually go out with the dogs, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Like, and to me, that's where the proof is,
Yes. I
right?
just got a video the other day from a client
Mhm,
whose dog was aggressive and
mhm,
they couldn't take it anywhere. And they showed me their dog off leash in public, surrounded by people and dogs walking by them. And they're like, they were they were practically in tears. They were like, "Thank you so much. We never thought that this would be possible. We
mhm.
never thought that this would be possible."
Yeah.
And yet, that's their
And
new
that's why I'm
reality.
saying when you get all the controversy, all the people who, want to text with like really negative comments is
Yes.
because they've never been in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've never been in that situation where like I said, with everybody else who can relate to it,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's more of like those are the ones who appreciate, those are the ones that say
Yeah.
thank you, right? Those
Exactly.
are the ones that say it's kind of like unspoken. Nobody wants to talk about this line with where the
Yeah.
aggression
Mm-hmm.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're
But
the
it's
ones
no
saying,
different.
"Thank you. You saved my dog's life. You saved our life. You saved our marriage. You saved our family."
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like,
Hmm.
not for nothing, but how many times for us as dog trainers, and I know we've had this conversation before, nobody realizes like the type of stress that we go through
Yeah.
when we get that dog at the 11th hour.
Yeah. Well, we're not just dog trainers. We're therapists. We're marriage counselors. We're sometimes babysitters. How many times have you had kids show up at a lesson and you have to do more work babysitting the kids than you are actually training the dog?
No, actually, my dogs listen better than the kids.
Exactly. So I'm having to correct their kids
Yeah.
and parent their kids.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, do you take children too? I'm
No.
like, been there, done that. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Haven't been there. Don't want to do it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I did
So,
enough. I did enough work babysitting when I grew up. I'm like, nope, sorry. I prefer dogs. I'll take dogs any day
but
of the week and twice
but
on
but
Sunday.
yeah, but there was, you saw a couple of those kids at the turnovers where
Hmm.
the parents are like, oh, do you take children too? No. But you
No.
know what?
Parent your
It's
kids,
because
people.
we worked the dogs, we held them accountable, right?
Hmm.
Gave them the structure. Hey guys, these are the rules,
Yep.
right? These are the rules to live by.
You can
And
apply what we do for dogs. Apply that to your kids.
mhm,
Structure, boundaries, rules, hold them accountable. It's the same thing, people.
mhm.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
Man up, step up, do your
it's
job.
well, I think it really goes both ways in that sense because you do have people who, have rules to their home with their kids,
Yeah.
but then don't have rules for the dogs. And I
Oh
tell
no.
them, listen,
Yeah,
if
it'll be completely
you have
different.
rules for your kids and you can punish your kid and give them,
Chores and
a
boundaries and rules
punishment,
and yeah.
yeah, right? Then why wouldn't you be able to do that for your dog?
Because of the propaganda. It's like,
So,
oh no, you can't say no to your dog. Oh no, you can't punish your dog. Oh no, the dogs love you unconditionally. You must love them that way, which means you can't ever say no to them.
mhm,
Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. Absolutely 100%. And
so,
again, I'm going to keep throwing that challenge out there. And one of the biggest, there's a few. There's there's a lot. If you go on Reddit, oh my God, I recently went on there and read a whole bunch of articles. There are actually forums on Reddit where you cannot even say that you use a tool. That's how bad the propaganda and censorship is. They will literally ban you and take off any comments that you make if you say you use a tool or that you promote the use of a tool in training. That's how ridiculous this is. That's how almost Stalinistic and neo-Nazi they are. They are getting to the point where you can't even talk about it. You can't write about it. You cannot even say that it's something worth entertaining without getting slammed and shut out and vilified. If that's not censorship and propaganda, what the hell is? And these
mhm,
are people that are they're so aggressive about pushing their agenda to the point where they are aggressive. They are not
mhm.
nice. They're not playing by the rules. They're
Yeah, that's a good point. How's that work? How's that
exactly.
work?
How can you say you do positive only and yet you use all this negativity
Mhm,
in criticizing and demoralizing and shaming people and judging people
mhm,
and making them feel more horrible than they already are feeling because they are living this persecuted life, trying to manage this dog, trying to prevent it from biting. And now you're going to make it feel worse because they're trying to help their dog and because it doesn't fill your paradigm of what you think is the right thing, that people can't disagree with what you think is the right thing. People don't have the right to have their own opinion. People don't have the right to get help for their dog if it goes counter to what you believe. What kind of world are you living in? What kind of world is this country becoming if we can't help our dogs without other people trying to shame them and literally persecuting these people? I cannot tell you how many times clients of mine have come to me literally in tears,
mhm,
crying and sobbing because they feel so ashamed because of the looks that they get and the comments they get because people see that they have an e-collar or a prong collar. What is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
How
I
can you
mean,
say that what you're doing is right? How can you say that positive only is the only way to go and yet you can't even live that in your own life?
mhm.
How are you being positive when you're literally making people cry and feel ashamed of themselves because they're trying to help their dog?
Because, and like I said again, it's because they haven't been in that position. Okay. They haven't been in
But
that
that's not an
position. If
excuse.
they were in that position,
That's not
if
an excuse.
they had a dog in that level of aggression, right?
Hmm.
Because there's all different levels,
Yeah.
okay? But severe enough where the people have to start, it's like literally changing their lifestyle because of this
Hmm.
dog,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
if all this is happening, it's truly they do love the dog, okay?
Yes.
But they
Hmm.
just haven't been able to get the right help,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
You know, because truly at that level, like you do need professional help.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait for something to justify for you to go and get the help.
Hmm.
That's first, right?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's like these people, like, yes, when we have a puppy, right?
Hmm.
Brand new, bring it
Yeah.
home. Oh, that's great. Yes, we want every single exposure to that puppy to be positive,
Hmm.
right? Yes. Oh, you give me a sit. Yes, boom, we're gonna give it a reward, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? For me, I'm gonna put that puppy in a crate, right? If
Hmm.
my eyes aren't on it, that's the safest place for it to be. So you're gonna tell
Yes.
me that a crate is is a negative? You're gonna tell me that a crate like is something that like positive only would be against because that's a prison? Come on
Hmm.
now.
Yeah.
Like stop,
Yes.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you have trainers out there who aren't even trainers, like Victoria Stilwell. Don't even get me started. I mean, I could talk days about that woman, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna keep promoting her more than she's already being promoted because honestly, I think she's a disgrace. I think she and trainers like her are the reason why thousands of dogs are being euthanized every day.
Mhm.
I really do because they can't they can't get a dog to do what they want using their training methods, so they don't fit into their paradigm. So what do? They say, "Oh, well, this dog's not fixable. There must be something wrong with it genetically. So you need to euthanize this dog because it's a danger."
Mhm.
How many dogs have they euthanized because they've told owners, "You can't fix this dog. You need to kill it." Thousands of dogs are dying every day because people don't want to use a simple tool that will effectively stop the unwanted behaviors and then allow this dog to live a very happy, fulfilled life
Mhm.
with their owners.
You know
And
what?
yet they're refusing because it doesn't fit their paradigm and it threatens them.
But how about this? Here's the perfect example, Jackson.
Hmm.
How many trainers or professional trainers this poor family took this dog to?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Hmm.
think it was like what professional, like dealing with aggression, right? One guy
Yeah.
was like, I think in the military or something. He saw the
Hmm.
dog, he said, put the dog down, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I think what they had like a couple people, and they reached out to you, and they're just like,
Well, I mean, they were
just want to
talking.
know if it's neurological.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying it's neurological. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. This dog was on drugs since he was 7 months old.
Okay.
Drugs since 7 months old. She was talking to this dog had been to several, at least two boarding trains with the same company. And then she'd been also talking to someone overseas, a trainer, who was actually giving her some decent advice. But she had to do everything virtual because she was from like Africa or something. And then she reached out to, I think, a couple of other trainers where she just didn't like, what they did and what they were saying. And then she finally reached out to me.
Yep.
And, we went out,
Yep.
we evaluated, we brought him home. And I seriously I didn't feel right about taking that dog and training it. Right from the very beginning, I'm like, and it's not that I couldn't rehab the dog. That wasn't the issue. I did rehab the dog. The issue was it wasn't the right home because you have two elderly
Exactly.
people.
Yes.
One has
Great
dementia.
dog, just not the right match.
Yeah. One has dementia. The other
Mhm.
one has MS. And their daughter, who's an adult, has her own health issues and thought there was nothing wrong with that dog, even though he had bit her several times.
Mhm.
So she was contributing to the problem.
Mhm.
That dog, no matter what I did, how much I trained that dog, if he went back into that household, he would have gone right back to doing what he was doing in the past because dogs will do what you allow them to get away with doing.
Right. And
And he was smart.
here's the thing though, like, and this is what people got to know about you too. They were going to euthanize a dog. They
Yes.
wanted your professional opinion. They wanted you to say it was neurological,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because it was their conscience that was on it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And 20 minutes, you will retreat, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
But like coming out 20 minutes later, and they said nobody was able to bring that dog out of the house. Nobody was able to, put a leash on that dog and bring it out.
Yeah.
Right. If, you bringing it back to the facility, like if you didn't have a heart, you would have been like, yeah, go ahead.
Ari? Aria.
Sorry.
Good boy, Jackson. Good boy, Jackson. Oh, there we go.
You know what? This is too much dog for you. Go ahead, euthanize him. But what you said to them was, I can work with this dog. I can rehab this dog. He's a smart dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the right fit. And what did you do? They surrendered it. You work with him, and he's in the right home,
Yes.
right? Because he's a
Mhm.
great dog.
Yes. He's an
Right? And,
absolutely
and and that's the thing.
wonderful dog.
You fostered him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you
For
worked with him
several
because
months.
you found him the right home. And the
Yeah.
people that he's with, like, love him,
Oh my
right?
God. They are so in love with this dog.
Right? And
Mm-hmm.
best feeling ever,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows you like sometimes in those type of situations too, it could be a great dog, it just might not be the right fit for the family.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that was clearly the case in that
Yes.
situation. 100%.
Mhm.
That was the case. That dog was fantastic. He was
Yes.
fantastic. But
Mhm.
he needed someone who was going to set the rules and hold them accountable.
Mhm.
And 100% I did that for him. And he knew that. He trusted me.
Mhm.
He never had to second guess. He knew if he made the wrong decision, what was going to happen. But he
Mhm.
also knew that if he made the right decision, he
Mhm.
was golden. And he was well loved and taken care of at our facility. Emma fell in love with him. She wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
He kind of fell in love with her a little too
Oh,
much.
yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to
And
show that
for
one
those
too.
of you who are wondering why we're laughing, we have a little TikTok video that we put
Yeah.
out there of
Yeah.
things that you
Emma.
never thought a trainer would have to do. Emma was featured in that, and Jackson was also featured in that. So you have
Yeah.
to check that out. We'll send you a link. We'll have it
Yes.
here at the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen, so you can check that video out. It was
Yeah.
hysterical. We also have it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I
So,
yeah, I think that was like what, 2, 3 days, and that one like blew up over 10,000
oh
views
my
already.
gosh, yeah, I think at last count it was like over 13,000 on Instagram alone, and then
Yeah.
another 3,000 on TikTok, a couple thousand on YouTube. Yeah, that thing is, yeah, it's
Poor
getting
Emma.
traction. It was funny though. It was hysterical.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to
Shout
show that.
out to Maya for putting that together.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did a
that
great
was
job.
fun. Mm-hmm.
She did great.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, keep in tune, people. We're going to talk about some exciting things coming up. We're going to talk more about this balance training. We're going to have our special guest speaker, Sierra Liberty from K9 Summit. They're going to join us. We're going to talk about tools, how to use them, how they can be effective, how not to use them.
Mhm.
And, this whole, again, controversy between the positive force free versus the balance trainers. And what is that doing to the industry? What are we seeing? What are the trends here that's happening? The polarization between the two factions. It's like a world war fight. It's like the UFC heavyweight championships, the boxing heavyweights. It's ridiculous the level that this has gotten to.
Yeah.
But, people just keep lobbying back and forth punches at each other rather than trying to work towards, more understanding and a harmonious relationship and really seeing what we can bring to the table individually and as a group, as opposed to just constantly punching at each other and trying to knock each other down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't bad trainers on both sides. There's abuse happening on both sides. I
Mhm.
mean, all you have to do is do some YouTube searches for dog trainers and some horrible stories, and you'll see them. I
Yeah.
mean, I can tell you right off the bat a couple of memorable ones that I've seen. I'm not going to name names right now because I don't want to throw a bunch of people under the bus. But do your own research. I mean, you could come up with a couple hundred examples of abuse with dog trainers, abuse with anything, not just dog trainers. But there's abuse happening. Absolutely. And it's not always using tools. It's just people being idiots, people being assholes. It happens in every industry,
Or,
in any genre.
what's upsetting for me is that someone can come in and, the people are desperate
Mm-hmm.
looking for a trainer, and
Yeah.
they're, doing all that they can to find the right trainer. But then
Yeah.
some of these trainers go in, and I feel like if it is beyond their level, right?
Yes.
Just be upfront with these people as opposed to
Exactly.
saying, no, put the dog down,
Yeah.
right? Put the dog down. If it's beyond your level, then just be transparent. Like,
Mhm.
listen, you know, I think this is a little bit more, you need someone with a little bit more like expertise in this field of aggression as opposed to, okay, just, table counter surfing or leash pulling. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Yes.
just be transparent with them as opposed to saying, no, you just put the dog down.
Right.
That's the tough part,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Because, it's a matter of finding the right trainer.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's where you have to do your research. Talk to the trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them one on one. Get a
Mm-hmm.
feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, there are a lot of trainers out there. Get to know your trainer first. Gain a little trust. Talk to their clients. Read their reviews. Get some referrals. I encourage that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a trainer who's not willing to give you some referrals
Mm-hmm.
and have an actual conversation and meet with you one on one, run. Run as fast as you can. That is not a trainer you want to work with.
Agree. And I say it to the clients too, right?
Yeah.
Like when they're calling, it's almost like an interview, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're talking to a couple trainers. I'm like, as you should,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Because you got to see what's the best fit for you,
Exactly. Yeah. And
right?
we're not always going to be the best fit.
Mhm.
We're not. And you know what? Every client's not going to be a best fit for us either. I've turned clients down. Oh my God, I have a doozy of a story that I could tell you. But we're going to save that for another day
Hold
because
that thought.
absolutely, because we're going to need some time for that one.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
for
God.
this. I want to hear that one.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's going to be a good one.
All
It
right.
was so
Well,
good.
hold
I
that
still remember it. And I have a lot going on in this head. So for me to remember,
thought.
you
Uh,
know, it made
yeah.
an impression.
All right. Well, hold
All
that
right,
thought.
everyone. Stay tuned. We are going to be talking about that and many more things in our
Yes.
next podcast.
Awesome.
So for
Thanks,
everyone,
everybody.
have a great
Good
night.
night.